Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thanks for joining us today inside the house as opposed to outside running around in 105-degree heat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So hopefully you're having a good day. We are doing that right now, but like I said, it's been hot in Oklahoma. So we thought we would, for a change, come inside, sit down, and catch up with you the old-fashioned way.
Without sweating.
And not sweat. And also be able to enjoy our video today.
Yeah.
So grab a cup of coffee. Hopefully, if you don't have one already, sit down and catch up with us. But first thing we want to catch up with is the one thing we've been working on a lot. That's the schooling.
I was like, did you forget?
I know. I'm trying to. I don't want to get the name right. I'm going to call it the schooling. So our school bus conversion is going well. We are right in the middle of it as far as we have the floor done. We have our couches in, which are pontoon furniture.
Yeah, if you are following on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I've been trying to keep videos up there as we do stuff. And then Walker Farm Fam videos on there. But you put that stuff out there and there are so many schooly professionals that tell you how to do it wrong when I'm pretty sure they've never actually done that.
Well, and that's another thing is we're calling it a schoolie, and a lot of people take a school bus and build it out to live in it full time. And so they do a lot of really cool things. If you have watched any of the channels that do that rebuild it, they do a lot of really cool things, and it looks like a regular house. Like it has sheetrock and
we're making
sinks.
a glorified tent.
Yeah, and so their purpose for living in one full time, it needs to have all the air conditioning, heating of a modern home. It needs to have plumbing and tanks to drain,
and showers,
everything,
a table to eat at, and all that stuff. And that's not what we're doing. So a lot of people are telling us we need this and that, but we know what we want and what our goal is. But also, we may change things. First or second time we take it out and be like, this ain't working, or we need to add this. But we're doing basic, but we feel like we're doing quality in what we are doing with the furniture and the floor and all that. But it's kind of trial and error. We've never done it either. Gary's watched a lot of videos from people who have done it, trying to take their advice because they actually do it. Like, you know, they've converted 10 and sold them or whatever. So we're having fun with it. Next up is the bathroom, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So,
but it's not like a bathroom what you're thinking.
Well, that's what I was saying. So when you go back, so if you remember, was it a year ago, 2 years ago, Cassie got on a camper kick. So let's begin with the end in mind.
I still want one of those little old school vintage.
Cassie was on a camper kick where she wanted a camper. She did not want a tent camp. She wanted something.
But I didn't want a camper with all the amenities in it.
Yeah, she wanted something that you could drive to the lake and be comfortable in. She wanted air conditioning. She wants mattress and things like that. So that led to us shopping around for a camping trailer. Yeah. And when you shop around for a camping trailer, you're going to find that you do not get very much for, let's just say, a budget of $10,000. Yeah,
a lot of the ones we found either had all the things, and that's not what we wanted, or it was a shell and really bad inside. It was like really needing to restore, and we don't have that kind of time. We've worked on the schoolie as we have time, but it's been like not a whole like demo job. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's been minimal. So anyway,
minimal to a point, but we did have to the work that we did was hard because we had to rip out all the seats and rip out.
But some of those, I was wanting an older like vintage bumper pull camper. Yeah. Small, and a lot of them, it was a shell, but the wall was molded, or something was broke, or the door was janky, or you know what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But then I did find some that were what we wanted, but for the price, I'm like, ugh, I just can't see doing that.
Yeah, and so that's where
my neighbor actually has the one I want. She just won't sell it to me.
You know what?
She doesn't watch this.
She doesn't watch this, but that's okay because you have the right to have as many campers as you want. If you want 2, if you want 3, and they look alike, that's okay. But what really got me pointed towards a schoolie and a bus build was shopping around and finding out that what we could get for, like I said, around $10,000. Let's just have that number in our mind. We don't want to spend that more than that because we're only going to take it to the creek, the lake, Cassie's dad's, to our hunting land. We're not going to be going
within 45 minutes to an hour drive max.
Yeah, maybe an hour and a half to Arkansas, to some of their beautiful state parks, but still within a reasonable area. If it broke down, we could have it towed home. It would not be cost an arm and a leg. But we started down that path and we found that a lot of those campers were old, stinky, outdated. You couldn't get it, and they were small.
And I'm big on smells. If it smells bad, I'm out.
Yeah, I have to
smoke or lots of different
Before
things.
I buy any vehicle, I have to have Cassie to sit in the passenger seat and just take a big whiff. Because apparently I can't always smell cigarette smoke.
Which my nose isn't as good as it used to be. But
like she can.
Yeah.
But so that turned us to the schoolie because if you guys remember, we bought our bus for under $5,000. So the square footage, the amount of pure space we got for under $5,000 in a vehicle that's safety rated, probably one of the safest vehicles on the road, it's a 2014 model, so it's 10 years old, it has 72,000 miles, about that. So we got a lot, I felt like, for not a whole lot of money. And it's also a blank slate where we can go in, start clean, fresh, and beginning with the end in mind. What does Cassie want? That's where we're at now.
If you're new, we actually bought 2 school buses when we bought this one because it was like a package deal. And we actually sold one to a local school. So obviously we didn't make hardly any profit off of it because we weren't going to...
About 10%.
Yeah, we weren't going to do that. But we were able to sell that one because we didn't need both of them. Because some people were like, well, why did you buy 2? We have one sitting outside that we bought not a part of this thing and donated to our school. We keep it here so that no one messes with it because people aren't very nice and they'll come mess with your junk at your school.
And we do the maintenance.
Yeah, and we do the maintenance and I drive it. But so the other one, we bought a package deal. And we didn't really buy them with this completely with the schoolie thing in mind. But once we had them, and we sold the other one, or right around that time was when Gary and I was like, okay, we want an RV, let's just do this.
Yeah, we definitely, that was one of our priorities was that. So that brings us to where we're at today. We have the subfloor finished, floating, just like the professionals out there on the bus channels. Like if you were
with insulation underneath
it. So the way I wanted to build it out was build it up so far that if we want to sell it in 3 years or 5 years, somebody could buy it and continue a traditional schoolie build.
Yeah.
So they could go in and take out the ceiling and the walls and put regular wood up against the walls, put sheetrock up or whatever finishings they want. They could cap the windows off and do that, go to the extra expense. They could do all that and we didn't mess anything up.
Yeah.
So we to this point, we've made it solid as a schoolie. But this is the point where we're changing it from a traditional schoolie build to more of ours.
Maybe we should call it a bus camp.
And how we
bus tent.
A bus tent. A schoolie tent would be a skint. I don't think that doesn't have a ring.
Also, people say we need to name it. I think 2 things have to happen before we name it.
A Tully?
Don't even start. Don't even try.
A Tully?
Stop.
Tully has a name. A ring.
One, I think we got to go take it and spend some time in it. And 2, I think it needs a paint job before we can really call it something.
Well.
So it's going to be a while.
Let's get to paint in a minute. So keeping us on track before we get to paint.
Okay.
How we're going to finish it out from this point forward, though, is our priorities. So now that we have a good seating area, that was kind of our top priority. We splurged a little bit. Those pontoon seats were expensive. I'm not going to say they aren't.
Yeah, I saw someone say...
They weren't cheap.
Way to repurpose. No, those are brand new.
Yeah, those are brand new.
Not sponsored. We bought them. We picked them out. We wanted them.
But by the time I calculated how much it would cost to build all of that storage, plus have nice furniture, plus have a bed, once you put a what's it called, the pop-up mattress, the blow-up mattress in the middle, along with the seats, and that makes one big bed. By the time you combine those three things, then it's well worth the money.
Yeah, because we thought about putting a couch or a futon or this or that. But like Gary said, now we have the storage and a couch and a bed and several things all in one. And close to indestructible. I mean, we have 4 children. Something's probably going to happen.
Right.
But
it comes with a 6-year warranty. I'm going to save my receipt, by the way. I save receipts. But mainly for tax purposes. But so now it's on to the priorities. So first was the seating area. Second is what Cassie really wants in any kind of camper for the middle of the night. That is
some type of bathroom.
Some type of bathroom.
And when I say that, it can be a bucket with a lid on it. Like, I am not picky.
Yeah.
We
have one of those, by the way.
Yeah. So one in the middle of the night. Usually most places we go, they have showers and bathrooms available, and we try to go to where it's decent ones, and you can go use those during the day. But in the middle of the night, I'm gonna need to use the restroom. So I don't want to be frolicking through the night, woods and all that to find the porta potty or the bathroom. So I want to be able to use that. But also, if we take it out to my parents for hunting, or we take it to a local creek or whatever, we need to have a bathroom for the kids and things like that. So when I say bathroom, toilet. I just mean something to use the bathroom in.
Yeah, so there won't be a shower in it.
Yeah, and Gary's wanting to make it its own little room so that people can go in there, have privacy. If the kids bring friends or anything like that, you can go in, have some privacy, do what you need to do. And there's a lot of different options online for what kind of composting toilet and things like that you can use.
Yeah, we follow a schooly site, and there's people that live in them full time that use chemical toilets, and they use them all the time. That's probably not what we're going to do. It's probably going to be more of a, okay, you used it, let's take it out and put it in the dumpster, very soon type of thing. But we'll figure that out. But it's down at, what's that store? Team Wholesale?
Team Surplus.
Team Surplus. It's a wholesale store here in Locust Grove. They have one. So I might actually go down there and buy that one today that we looked at.
I thought that was more for like disabled people.
Did you want that though or not?
Yeah.
Well, the only reason is to have that size, because then I can frame out the bathroom to that degree at least.
I think what that was more, and I'm probably not using the right term, but like bedside toilet for like disabled or sick or can't get around. But I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. So the container underneath might not be quite as big as we would like, but I can't really remember. But what I liked about it is it was good and sturdy, it was wide, and it was a little bit better than just setting on a bucket like we've done in the past.
Well, and I need something dimension-wise to kind of frame out. And then I've also got to get a door that's probably a low-profile door, like either a
Hobbit door?
Trailer house door. Sometimes they're not the full height. So I might could get the full height in there if I do it sideways. Anyway.
But if you bought a real wooden door, you can get it to whatever size you want, right?
No, well, you technically could, but I would prefer to buy a framed door that's already in the frame. Okay. So I'm not trying to cut down frames.
Gary's bougie.
No, I'm not. I'm the one that has to do it. Cassie says, you can just buy whatever you want, right?
I told him yesterday,
you can just throw it together. You can just do whatever you want, right?
Make a barn door. You can do that. Go get some pickets.
No, it's 10 times easier to buy a door that's already framed out, build the frame for the door, put the door in the frame, and screw it off. It's like magic. It's like it was intended to be that way.
Okay.
All right. So that's probably what we'll do. So there's our bathroom, and that was our next priority. So what we're going to do once we have that wall framed up for the bathroom, and I think over that fender well.
Today is 20% off at Team Surplus. You better get yourself down there.
I want to be going down there. So over that fender well, though, it's going to take in part of the bathroom. So what I think I'm going to do is do storage inside where you walk in the bathroom, and there'll be storage shelves up and down.
Well, yeah.
And we could do our clothes, like each person could have a shelf for their clothes or whatever it is.
I was thinking too, towels for the lake or the creek that we're at.
Yeah.
I probably will take a big bottle of all-in-one soap or something. Depending on how long we're staying, the kids can. When I was little,
Not going to stay too long either way.
no.
So
But when I
we'll be
was
all right.
younger, I would go camping with my friend's family, and we'd go out to the creek with a bottle of soap, wash our hair, wash off. I mean, we were in the water all the time, but we still, every so often, had to use soap so we didn't get too stinky.
Soap's good. Not stinking is even better.
But yeah, Gary's got a good idea.
So after the bathroom's framed up, then we can build out forward and backward from there on how much space we have left. So we're doing our priority first, the second priority, and then the next one. We have a lot of ideas. Right now is a good season to buy small refrigerators because apparently college dorms are about ready to get filled up with people. And so they have
options out.
Yeah, they have multiple options.
Not a good time for like prices.
No,
I mean, yes, but you're not saying that because of the prices. You're saying that because of the selection that's out.
Both. So it's like kind of like Super Bowl Sunday is the time to buy a TV. Well, when all the college kids are going back to school for the first time in the fall, there were 3 different options of mini fridges that I saw at Walmart, and every one of them was regular $169 for $129, regular $199 for $149. Like they were all on sale, and I think it's because they have competing brands.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to get them to buy theirs. But the one I saw has a separate. It's small, but it has a separate freezer and refrigerator area. So that's the one I want because mini fridges never get it right. Like if you have that little section up top, it never really freezes right. So we're gonna have something small.
Gary and I's bed situation, we have some ideas on that for us to actually have a good mattress and bed and room.
Yeah. So something that folds up is going to be beneficial. So a couple options. One would be if there was space to have, was it called a trundle?
Murphy bed.
Murphy bed, where it just folds down. But also maybe more simple would be getting 2 of those twin size like rollaways.
Yeah.
And that way we could push them against the wall.
What I like about them is you can move them wherever you need them or want them.
Yeah.
So if we put a Murphy bed, we're married to that spot. But we bring our kayaks or we have something random or whatever, we can, or just Gary takes the kids. He only needs to open one bed, you know, or whatever.
Or if we have guests over at our house and we want to grab them.
that bed and bring it in.
Well, we want to grab the beds out of the back of the schoolie, roll them inside.
Yeah.
And then we can pop them out in our living room, and then we have 2 beds for guests. So the rolling beds would probably be the best. It's not going to look fancy like the schoolies that you look at online that are trying to get that
We ain't going for fancy.
shock value, but it's going to be so versatile and so easy to use.
Yeah.
And the main thing is we're going to have space because you have that huge back door, and we'll be able to put tent chairs or camping chairs, kayaks, all our supplies we can just throw back there.
Yep.
So
I'm just ready to go camping.
there you go. We're getting closer, and we've got about another 30 days of really hot weather.
Yeah, I told Gary, I was like, it'd be cool if we went camping before school started, and he's like, it's hot.
Yeah.
We have the air conditioners, but it's hot outside and miserable.
And that space, I don't think the air conditioners are gonna they might keep it manageable. When it's 85 degrees for your low, like 85.
Yeah.
We got out of church yesterday, and guess what? The temperature was 94 degrees at 8 o'clock in the evening. 94. So it's stinking hot in Oklahoma.
86 right now.
So a couple more degrees higher than,
But I keep getting excessive heat warnings sent to me, so.
So that's where we're at with the schoolie, but you did mention one thing, paint. And I've got new thoughts on paint.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I know what it is.
So paint in my world is now in the back burner. Least priority. Because how many sheriffs, highway patrols are going to write you a ticket because of your paint color? How many of them really care that you're driving your car, your RV from your house to the lake and back? Now, I'm saying without school bus signs, without any writing on the side, without the stop sign that pops out, without flashing lights on, just an empty bus going down the road and back. I'm thinking the odds of getting in trouble are very, very low. Now, I'm not saying I
Just
don't.
get that new cop that's ready to do it.
So I'm not saying that I don't want to paint it. I want to do something.
It's just not top priority.
It's not a top priority. It's not something I'm going to rush. If it's something when the kids go back to school or maybe this winter and I've got time out on the farm and I can spend a day sanding down 10 feet at a time.
When it's not 95 degrees.
When it's not 95 degrees and do it, then I'll do it then. So that's my thought is why rush it when there's no, there's nothing pushing us to do it.
Well, we're probably going to do it ourselves because obviously that's a big paint job and a lot of money. If we were just going to take it somewhere, it'd be different. But since we're going to do it ourselves, one, it's really hot right now. And two, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
We would like to go camping sooner rather than later.
And also, we're going to be set up kind of to boondock wherever we want. So that doesn't mean we'll necessarily have to be at a campground. We can pull up to some public land that allows people to hang out in farmland, creeks. You know, we know different people that have creeks that we could go park on their creek bank and go hang out. So there'll be a lot of options. But what are your thoughts on painting, Cassie? I told my thoughts. Anything different?
Color?
Yeah.
Or time?
Color whenever it gets to it.
I'd like a gray or a green.
Like this cup.
Yeah. Or a blue, but I feel like blue, gray, and green all in the same color scheme. You know what I mean? Like, not a navy blue, not a hunter green,
So
not a dark gray.
I like this color of this cup, but then with either black accents or some blue, dark blue accent, something. The way like this writing is
Or like
on this cup.
this
blue. We're gonna give you another close up once we get focused.
See this blue right here, this lighter blue?
Mm-hmm. Now I said I like that blue before, and somebody said you do realize that's the prison bus color,
Well,
right? And I looked it
people
up.
stay away from us.
I looked it up, and I put that's the prison bus color. So maybe we paint that prison bus blue, and then we put Walker School for Delinquent Children on the side.
People will be like, oh gosh, what's pulling in here?
Walker Delinquent.
We already freak people out when we pull up on the bus.
All right. We had a friend also suggest that to us, and we might take him up on it. He would be surprised whenever we send him a photo of our bus that says Walker School for Delinquent Children. No, it's not going to do that. But we're going to have fun, and I hope that you guys do not miss the point of all of this, and that is for our family to spend time together while we're building the bus, while we're camping, something to have for us to go and do things together and have fun and enjoy our life, because it is a vapor.
Yep.
It will be gone before we know it. Yesterday, I took Ranger to get braces. So he got started with little knobs and rubber bands. So he's growing up. He's 13 years old. And 5 years, Cassie, you know what that means?
He's got to find his own place.
He's going to be an adult. Now, I didn't say he has to find his own place.
Kidding.
But he will be an adult. And that's just our reality is our days on this earth, no matter what, are numbered. But our days with our kids are also numbered. And we recognize that. Part of the reason I stay home and work on the farm is because of that, is because I'm able to spend time with them. So that's the whole point. So hopefully you guys grasp and understand that while we have a lot of fun with it and we let Handsome drive through the boxes with the go-kart to have fun, we do try to keep it fun, but we've already won because we're already spending time together. We're already doing this as a family, and so we couldn't do it if it wasn't for you guys, our subscribers, to help.
Yep. And like Gary said, trying to make memories and have fun, not trying to build a masterpiece. So hopefully people will keep that in mind.
Yeah. So I think that's all that we have today as far as prayer requests go, though. Anything specific? I know our neighbor Stacy is still in need of prayers. We appreciate you guys so much for remembering her. Anything else?
I was gonna say Stacy. School coming up, so be praying for teachers as they go back and impact children's lives, and be with kids as they go back. Help them that they have open ears and minds and hearts to receive, and closed mouths
Probably
to receive
closed mouths.
what they need to. And Also, there's some parents out there that maybe their kid's going to school or college or whatever for the first time, and that can be hard for people as well.
So I've heard this. Is it true that teachers have to be really mean on the first week of school? Because
about the first 4 weeks, you're like, "Arr," and then you can back off a little.
Oh, okay. So it's the first 4 weeks. So I've never been a teacher, so I don't really know the rule. But you can always be mean and get nicer, but you can't be nice and get meaner.
Yeah, because then they're like, whatever.
Yeah, you got to get your bluff in. So get your bluff in, Cass. Coach Walker's got this.
I stay that way about all school year.
Oh my. All right. Special prayer for Cassie. So thank you guys so much for following along. We hope you have a great day and God bless.
We love you guys.